Secretary Pete Hegseth arrived at the Pentagon on Monday, starting his first official day as Secretary of Defense. Hegseth will face a daunting array of issues to tackle, from global conflicts and border security to administrative tasks. According to Associated Press, at the top of his list is addressing President Donald Trump's priority to strengthen the U.S. military presence along the southern border and reviewing whether active duty forces should be used for law enforcement, something done rarely. In remarks before he entered the Pentagon, Hegseth vowed to support Trump's border policies. "We've helped move forward troops, put in more barriers, and also to ensure mass deportation, support of mass deportations in support of the president's objective," he said. "This is a shift," Hegseth said. The Defense Department will support the defense of the territorial integrity of the United States of America at the southern border, to include reservists, National Guard, and active duty in compliance with the Constitution, the laws of our land, and the directives of the Commander-in-Chief. Dozens of other issues will compete for his attention, including developing the Pentagon's massive budget, decisions about aid to Ukraine, support for the ceasefire in Gaza, troop deployments in the Middle East. Not to mention Trump directives to rid the federal government of diversity programs and personnel, as well as moves to cut waste and remove any lingering Biden administration backers. Already, support staff have been meeting with military leaders, including General C.Q. Brown Jr., chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. One of his first big decisions is whether he will recommend that active duty troops deployed to the border get involved in law enforcement, a move that military leaders in recent years have pushed to avoid.
It's an honor to be here. It's an honor to serve on behalf of the president, serve on behalf of the country. It's an amazing job, beyond what anyone can fathom. But in talking to the chairman and so many other folks here, we're in capable hands. The warfighters are ready to go. If you see what the president said last week in his executive orders, he's hitting the ground running. He's made it very clear. There's an emergency at the southern border. That the protection of the sovereign territory of the United States is the job of the Defense Department, and the cartels are foreign terrorist organizations. As a result, this Pentagon Snap 2 last week, we helped move forward troops, put in more barriers, and also to ensure mass deportation, support of mass deportations in support of the president's objective. That is something the Defense Department absolutely will continue to do. And today, there are more executive orders coming that we fully support, on removing DEI inside the Pentagon, reinstating troops who were pushed out because of COVID mandates, Iron Dome for America. This is happening quickly. And as the Secretary of Defense, it's an honor to salute smartly, as I did as a junior officer and now as the Secretary of Defense, to ensure these orders are complied with rapidly and quickly. Every moment that I'm here, I'm thinking about the guys and gals in Guam, in Germany, in Fort Benning and Fort Bragg, on missile defense sites and aircraft carriers. Our job is lethality and readiness and warfighting. We're going to hold people accountable, and I know the chairman agrees with that. The lawful orders of the President of the United States will be executed inside this Defense Department swiftly and without excuse. We will be no better friend to our allies and no stronger adversary to those who want to test us and try us. So, Mr. Chairman, thanks for welcoming me today. I look forward to serving the troops, the warriors of this department. It's the honor of a lifetime, and we're going to get to work. God bless you all.
What's your wristband?
This right here is Jorge Oliveira. He was killed in Afghanistan. He was asked about what I wear on my wrist every single day. It was a troop I served with, a soldier I served with in Guantanamo Bay when I was a platoon leader. He was killed in Afghanistan, not in my unit, but when I was there. It's these guys that we do this for, those that have given the ultimate sacrifice.
Was that to the border soon?
Whatever is needed at the border will be provided, whether that is through state active duty, Title 32 or Title 10, because we are reorienting. This is a shift. This is not the way business has been done in the past. This is the Defense Department will support the defense of the territorial integrity of the United States of America at the southern border, to include reservists, National Guard, and active duty in compliance with the Constitution, the laws of our land, and the directives of the Commander-in-Chief.
Possibility of
Staff and other members of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Handle with it right now. Look forward to working with them. Thank you. There'll be an executive order on that right now. Hey, we're gonna make sure there's accountability for what happened in Afghanistan, and that we stand by our allies. Thank you.
The activity of Ukrainian forces along the new section of the border with the Kursk region of the Russian Federation worries Z channels. They are sure that the Ukrainian armed forces are preparing a new breakthrough. This statement was made by the Russian Z resource Northern Channel, associated with the Russian armed forces. The other day, the defense forces dealt a very painful blow to the Russian armed forces in the Tetkino area. Ukrainian drones destroyed a certain amount of very important equipment. Not tanks, armored personnel carriers or cars, but something related to communications. Anyone in the Kursk region on the combat mission felt it. The channel wrote, "It is known that the equipment that provided the Russian armed forces with access to the Yamal satellites was destroyed. The destruction of this equipment disrupted Russian communications and intelligence." The Severny Canal claims that the Ukrainian armed forces did not stop there. The occupiers recorded very active work of Ukrainian artillery on the positions of the Russian army. At the same time, the Russian armed forces are observing very serious activity by the Ukrainian armed forces on their own territory near Tetkino. Some kind of unnatural movement of the Ukrainian armed forces. Everything is humming, making noise and moving there. The activity of UAV reconnaissance in this direction is just some kind of anomalous. A similar situation was in August 2024 in the area of Kyanitsa. It's on the other side of the border, not far from Sudza. Do you know how it ended there? I'm sure you know, wrote the Russian Z channel. It should be noted that recently, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Alexander Syrsky, gave a long interview in which he actually announced new breakthroughs, like in the Kursk region. He emphasized that being always on the defensive, it will not be possible to win the war. Speaking in more detail about the idea of the Kursk operation, the Commander-in-Chief recalled that the enemy had launched a large-scale offensive in the Kharkiv region on May the 10th last year. From June the 1st, the enemy planned two main attacks in the Kharkiv and Sumy directions. Ukraine had already managed to secretly transfer reserves here in advance, which inflicted heavy losses on the occupiers in subsequent battles and stopped their advance. Having gotten stuck in the Kharkiv direction, since June, the enemy began to create offensive groups almost along the entire front line. Then active offensive battles of the enemy began in the area of Chasov Yar, Toretsk, in the Pokrovsk direction, Kupiansk, Zaporozhye, the general said.